protects cement and Vimal, Bolo Zuma Kesari.
Hello and a very warm welcome. Thanks for tuning in to News9 Live. I'm Kabir Naqvi and you're watching this special broadcast from our studios here in the National Capital Region. An expansive list of stories for all of us to cover today. Of course, the third phase of the elections, that's going to be our top focus. But not just that, some important developments vis-a-vis Arvind Kejriwal and his interim bail that came out of the Supreme Court as well. We're going to throw some light on that. And not just that, from drought to deluge. What's the situation right now in Bengaluru? And what's the fuss about this new COVID variant called flirt, and should you be worried? All of this coming your way, ladies and gentlemen, over the next couple of minutes. But shifting our focus first and foremost to the election stories. The voting for the third phase of the Lok Sabha polls, their elections 2024, it took place today, and these are the important points. The Lok Sabha poll, it moves to the saffron bastions today, mainly in the western portion of the nation, whether it's BJP's 400 par ka nara or India Bloc's challenge. This is a critical round for both these blocks. From Porbandar to Malda, there's no dearth of prestige fights today, ladies and gentlemen. But the big intrigues, of course, lie in Maharashtra. More than 50% of the parliamentary seats would have gone for vote once the third phase of election is over. Now, this is happening across 11 states and union territories. Voters are casting their ballots in about 93 Lok Sabha constituencies. Early in the morning, we already got shots of people lining up at various poll booths, from the celebrities to all the top politicians, making a beeline to their polling booths, exercising their franchise, ladies and gentlemen. And first thing in the morning, it was Prime Minister Narendra Modi who cast his vote in Ahmedabad. Now, of the 93 seats across the 12 states, 10 are reserved for scheduled castes and 11 for scheduled tribes. As many as 1,351 candidates are in the fray in the Phase 3 elections of Lok Sabha 2024. Notably, polling for the Anantnag Rajouri seat in Jammu and Kashmir has been deferred till the 25th of May, whilst Betul in Madhya Pradesh, originally slated for the second phase, will now be joining the fray in this election phase. Now, and after today, 50%, a total of 283 seats will have completed polling, marking a significant milestone in this election and electoral journey. Key candidates, let's quickly point those out as well, in this phase include, of course, Home Minister Amit Shah, representing BJP from Gandhinagar in Gujarat; Digivijaya Singh of the Congress Party from Rajgarh in Madhya Pradesh; Shivraj Singh Chauhan, former Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister, representing the BJP from Vidisha in Madhya Pradesh; Dimple Yadav, Samajwadi Party, of course, wife of Akhilesh Yadav, from Mainpuri in Uttar Pradesh; Supriya Sule, intrigues in Maharashtra, representing the NCP; Sharad Pawar faction from Baramati; Purushottam Rupala of the BJP from Rajkot in Gujarat; Jyotiraditya Scindia from Guna in Madhya Pradesh; and Prahlad Joshi from the BJP is going to be contesting in Dharwad. Shifting our focus to Karnataka, a proper sex scandal that is now also making the headlines in that particular state. If you're looking at Karnataka, it is K.S. Ishwarappa, the BJP from Shivamoga in the state of Karnataka. 79 seats, including all the 26 seats in Gujarat, all 14 polling today in Karnataka, all the 9 seats in Maharashtra, 9 out of 10 seats in Uttar Pradesh, 7 out of 11 seats in Maharashtra. What are these numbers? These are seats that are up for contest for the NDA bloc. Meanwhile, on the other hand, West Bengal is where it had lost 3 of the 4 seats that are polling today in 2019. Prime Minister Modi, speaking at a rally in Maharashtra earlier, said that 2024 elections, polling of the third phase has made it clear that June 4th is the expiry date of the India Alliance. Of course, joining us on the broadcast to divulge further and get the ball rolling, Dr. Anil K. Verma, political analyst; Ajit K. Jha, senior journalist, is also with us; Rennie Abraham, senior journalist. Esteemed set of panelists that are going to be with us. Gentlemen, do stay on. Thank you for waiting patiently. Let's quickly listen in to some of the top reactions. We're sitting at 3 p.m. voter turnout as well. We'll talk all about that. Top reactions on your screens next.
भाई गर्मी में आप लोग दिन रात दौड़ कर रहे हैं, आप अपने स्वास्थ्य की भी चिंता कीजिए, और क्योंकि चुनाव के दिनों में पत्रकार साथियों को दिन रात दौड़ना पड़ता है, और आज मीडिया की कंपटीशन भी इतनी है कि आपको समय से आगे दौड़ना पड़ता है। मैं तो यही प्रार्थना करूंगा आप सब पुराने साथियों को कि अपने स्वास्थ्य का जरूर ध्यान रखें। और मैं हमेशा कहता हूं कि पानी बहुत पीना चाहिए। जितना ज्यादा पानी पिएंगे तो आपको बहुत स्वास्थ्य के लिए भी ठीक रहेगा और एनर्जी भी मेंटेन रहती है। आज तीसरे चरण का मतदान है। मैं देशवासियों को विशेष रूप से आग्रह करूंगा कि लोकतंत्र में मतदान ये सामान्य दान नहीं है। हमारे देश में दान का एक महात्म्य है और उसी भाव से देशवासी ज्यादा से ज्यादा मतदान करें। आज तीसरे चरण का मतदान है। अभी और करीब करीब 3 सप्ताह चुनाव अभियान चलेगा। 4 मतदान के दौर आगे भी हैं। मेरा गुजरात में मतदार के नाते यही एक जगह है जहां मैं रेगुलर मतदान करता हूं। और अमित भाई यहां से भारतीय जनता पार्टी के उम्मीदवार के रूप में चुनाव लड़ रहे हैं। मैं कल रात
See, people should go to the polling booth and vote. That is, in democracy, if you don't use your vote, it has no value. And secondly, if people with thumping majority, if they vote, they can change the governments. Therefore, I request all the voters, please go to polling booth and poll heavily in favor of democracy and constitution.
All right then, Mr. Ajit K. Jha, what is your reading of what you're picking up from all these states? We're looking at 3 p.m. voter turnout. The Western Classico is what people are calling it, from Porbandar to Malda. What is your psephological reading over here?
You know, unlike the first phase and the second phase, this phase, the third phase, seems to have one advantage. Voting turnout seems to be rather high. Until 3 p.m., I saw a recorded 46-47% turnout in UP, which, if you remember, in the first phase was the total turnout to start with. So that means voting turnout is higher, number one. Number two, in the first 2 phases, the first phase was dominated by Tamil Nadu, 39 seats, right? The second phase by Kerala. Unlike those 2 phases again, this time it seems to be dominated by states where the BJP strongholds. Gujarat, Karnataka, where BJP had almost swept last time, 25 out of 28 seats. Even Maharashtra, where the BJP Shiv Sena combined, had done much better. So this seems to be an area which would be called the comfort zone of the BJP. The BJP is defending almost, NDA is defending almost 79 seats, the BJP 72. So looks like that what happened in the last 2 phases seems to be shifting to some extent in the favor of the incumbent. That comes as an overall picture. And Gujarat, of course, the BJP not only wins Gujarat, but ends up winning with massive victory margins. I mean, Amit Shah in Gandhinagar last time had won with more than 9 lakh votes. This time they are claiming about 10 lakh votes. So overall, I would say it's moving towards more like a saffron shift compared to the first 2 states.
Well, these are the saffron bastions, Mr. Jha. These are the saffron bastions. We're looking at the Western Classico, more orange on maps across various blogs and news channels. And let me tell you that. All right, Rennie Abraham, we're going to slip into a quick break, but very quickly, I wanted to know from you, 4 seats that are up for grabs in West Bengal today. 3 were with the India bloc last time around. We're learning of some clashes in the areas of Murshidabad and Jangipur seats as well. What are you picking up if you're looking at West Bengal particularly?
Well, the West Bengal gauntlet for the BJP till the beginning of the electoral process, the BJP was very clear with the Union Home Minister Amit Shah even emphasizing to his party cadre that they would have to retain any which way the 18 Lok Sabha seats that they held over there. However, post Sandesh Kali, there has been a huge shift, and the BJP is very enthusiastic now, and even with claims coming out from their quarters that they expect close to 30 seats now, rather than having to retain the 18 Lok Sabha seats that they had earlier bagged. So there you are. And in West Bengal, we are particularly noticing that the seats are being played out in a very gradual phase by phase manner to prevent, mostly aimed at preventing any malpractices of, booth capturing and things like that has been quite prevalent in West Bengal.
All right, pertinent points raised there by Rani Abraham. We're going to slip into a quick commercial break here, but of course, Lalu Prasad is against stoked controversy. The Prime Minister has replied. All of that coming right on the other side. Don't go anywhere.
Helps beat sensitivity fast. Sensodyne Rapid Relief.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी.
A defiant performance by Ten Hag's men. Now standing at 7 feet 4 inches, Satnam Singh is making his way into professional wrestling.
We are getting more good news for India.
There's a new video around what deepfake can do.
We had seen a trailer of this a few days back.
Rollers should not be only on the platform.
We'll have to wait and see how those play out.
Hindenburg's report cannot be taken as gospel of truth.
It's probably the best kept secret in India.
Family-owned business, which has been extremely clinical in their approach. They have not hesitated ever to kill their darlings.
Typical to a South Indian business empire, I think they've shunned the limelight almost deliberately.
Helps beat sensitivity fast. Sensodyne Rapid Relief.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी.
Welcome back. You're watching News 9 Live, the third phase of the Lok Sabha Polls 2024. Top political analysts and senior journalists with us, Dr. Anil K. Verma, Mr. Ajit K. Jha, Rani Abraham, always a pleasure to have you with us. Quickly cutting across to Dr. Anil K. Verma. Your opinion, Dr. Verma, on the gruesome and intriguing fight that's taking place in Maharashtra. I mean, a Pawar versus Pawar was usually an Ajit Pawar versus a Sharad Pawar sort of a battle, but now the ladies have sort of like changed and swapped positions with the men, it seems.
Yes, I think it's a very interesting situation in Maharashtra. And initially, if you look at the Shiv Sena and the BJP had a common agenda. And after the split into 2019 and the formation of Mahavikas Aghadi, the Shiv Sena finds itself in a very precarious situation because you see the constituency of Shiv Sena and the constituency of NCP is by and large common. But that's a very precarious situation. And now, since they are together, they are, they have some common ground. But at the same time, the original constituency that was Maratha, that was Maratha Kundi, that was rural people, that were the poor people. That was the original constituency of the Congress. That has been largely appropriated by the BJP and the new Shiv Sena formation. And therefore, it remains to be seen how the old lion of Maharashtra has his clout still left over there. So this fight in Maharashtra becomes very interesting. And on 4 June, everybody would be very keenly
absolutely
watching
right.
what is the outcome of Maharashtra elections.
Certainly. And I get this urge to keep pushing the panelists to jump the gun, get something out, but I understand that, everything is going to be absolutely clear once the dust settles on the 4th of June or after the 4th of June. You never know. Mostly, they say that the elections continue after the result is out. But meanwhile, today, another interesting controversy that has come to light. RJD Supremo Lalu Prasad Yadav has backed the reservations for Muslims. Being asked about the BJP's charge that the opposition wanted to give reservations to the Muslims from within the OBC quota, Lalu Prasad said that Muslims should be given full reservations. Now, he also hit back at the BJP, and then there was a proper war of words. Let's quickly listen in to what Lalu Prasad Yadav said. And speaking at a Maharashtra rally as well, the Prime Minister hit back at Lalu Prasad's comments. We're going to take all of this with the panelists, but let's first listen in to both these sides.
मुसलमानों को आप लोग आरक्षण दे रहे हैं, ओबीसी का लेकर मुसलमानों को दे रहे हैं।
रिजर्वेशन तो मिलना चाहिए मुसलमानों को पूरा।
इनके एक बड़े साथी ने इंडी गठबंधन के इरादों पर मुहर लगा दी। उनके एक नेता जो चारा खाने के कारण जेल में है, जो पशुओं का चारा खा गए, और अदालत ने जिनको सजा दी है, अदालत ने उनको सजा दी है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट तक सबने मान्य किया कि इन्होंने भ्रष्टाचार किया है। ऐसे उनके सागरित और इनकी बेशर्मी देखो, वो अभी जमानत पे आए हैं बाहर तबीयत के कारण। जेल में कैद थे, कैदी है, गुनहगार है, और अदालत ने उनको गुनहगार बना दिया है जी। अरे आपके गांव में भी अगर कोई 6 महीने जेल सजा काट करके आए ना, तो गांव वाले भी दूर रहते हैं, बेटी का व्यवहार करने से दूर रहते हैं। ये कांग्रेस वाले इतने गिर चुके हैं कि उनको माथे पे बिठा के नाच रहे हैं। अच्छा, उन्होंने क्या कहा? अभी अभी कहा है, पिछले 24 घंटे में ही उन्होंने कहा, ऐसे हाथ पछाड़ के बोल रहे हैं, मुसलमानों को आरक्षण मिलना चाहिए। और सिर्फ आरक्षण नहीं मिलना चाहिए, वो कहते हैं कि पूरा का पूरा आरक्षण मुसलमानों को मिलना चाहिए।
All right, I'm going to go to Ajit K. Jha with us, senior journalist. How do you look at the comments that are made by not just Lalu Prasad Yadav, but also the Prime Minister? Let's not forget, in the backdrop, this has to be looked under the lens of how the Prime Minister has been targeting the Congress party over its caste census, over Mangal Sutras, well, you name it. How does one look at what has been uttered by Lalu Prasad Yadav on the third phase of Lok Sabha elections?
Let me just go back historically a little bit. During the Constituent Assembly debates, there was a serious move to provide reservation for Muslims. In fact, 2 of the subcommittees, the Subcommittee on Fundamental Rights and the Subcommittee on Minorities, had argued for reservation of Muslims. It was in 1949, once the partition began, that move was scuttled. Otherwise, if the partition hadn't taken place, perhaps Muslims would have reservation just like scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. So that's the history bit. Of course, reservation for backward Muslims, Pasmanda Muslims, has been argued by various state governments. Even Nitish Kumar, RJD, and several other state governments had tried to give reservation to backward Muslims. Now, of course, they are forming an alliance. The India bloc has built up in this particular campaign. They have built up an alliance between scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, OBCs, and Muslims against what they call Hindutva. So therefore, this issue is coming up again and again. And Prime Minister Modi is rightly pointing out in some ways that after all, the constitution doesn't provide for a reservation of Muslims as a community. There might be, exceptions here and there, but this issue has become the central issue, given the fact that the India Alliance has brought back the issue of reservation to counter Hindutva and protecting the constitution. They claim, the India bloc claims that the Prime Minister or the BJP wants to change the constitution, therefore it is asking for more than 400 seats. So this has become the central issue today. In fact, it echoes the fight between Mandal and Kamandal of the 1990s under VP Singh versus the BJP.
Right. 1994, those particular hearings, 2011, that caste census, that, Jairam Ramesh in an exclusive interview to News9 has also been speaking about. He says the Congress party is also going to review the 50% limit. We're going to slip into a quick commercial break here. Rennie Abraham and Dr. Anil K. Verma, many thanks for patiently waiting with us. We'll be back with more on this particular story. Right now, a quick breather.
Helps beat sensitivity fast. Sensodyne Rapid Relief.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी
India's ever-evolving urban landscape is witnessing a new revolution. And this one comes on four wheels.
The affluence has been growing. Cars are becoming more a reflection of what you are.
Nobody's talking about hatchbacks. Now what next? The next is the SUV. The contribution of SUVs is close to 55-60% of the automobile sales these days.
Is that even manufacturers like to sell SUVs?
So, how did a nation obsessed with fuel economy come to love heavy gas-guzzling sports utility vehicles? Let's look at how India fell in love with the SUV.
This and more. Streaming on News9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
Welcome back. You're watching News9 Live, the third phase of the Lok Sabha polls, and we're currently talking about Lalu Prasad Yadav stoking another controversy vis-a-vis his full Muslim reservation remark that has, encouraged the Prime Minister to come back with the vote bank jibe. But now Lalu Prasad Yadav has clarified. He says it's not religion-based. But what I'm trying to understand, and we have Dr. Anil K. Verma, political analyst, with us on the broadcast. Dr. Verma, what I'm trying to understand is, of course, the Prime Minister is going to be exploiting those particular comments for his own constituency to attract his own political mileage. But what does this mean for the RJD and Lalu Prasad Yadav's own vote bank, and what does this mean for the India bloc when we're looking at the Bihar electorate?
Lalu Prasad is a very smart politician. He has done the job for his constituency and especially the Muslim community. So after withdrawal of his comments, the purpose is done, the intentions are expressed. And he, being a senior politician, he should know very well that India is a secular country. and reservation on the basis of religion cannot be granted, especially Article 15 of the Constitution very clearly says that there cannot be any discrimination on the basis of religion. One. The second thing I would like to, point out that it is true that most of the Muslim community, especially the Azlaf and the Arzal, these are the two constituents who have converted from OBC to Islam and from Dalits to Islam. So these constituencies are, they are poor, they are marginalized, they are subaltern within the Muslim community. And despite the claim of the Islam that equality and this and that, if you really have friends in the Muslim community, and I'm sure you must have, we have a lot of friends over there. They openly tell us there is a lot of discrimination. Even friends from Pakistan, they tell us that there is a lot of discrimination in the Muslim community. So, therefore, but in spite of the fact that they suffer discrimination and poverty and other things, but the framework of the constitution is secular, and Article 15 bars the government and the parliament from, giving reservation on the basis of religion. And third thing, which is very important and probably most of us may not know, that in most of the states, many Muslim, denominations, many Muslim castes, since there are also castes in the Muslim community, they are classified within the OBC communities. For example, in UP, I can tell you that if you look at the Gazette of Uttar Pradesh, you will find at least 10 Muslim castes classed as the OBCs. And as OBCs, they are deriving all the benefits of reservation as an OBC, not as a Muslim. They are already deriving. And this is true in each and every state. So many Muslims even do not know, or many Hindus even do not know, but already Muslims are not deriving reservation as Muslims, but Muslims are deriving reservations as OBCs. And in every state, there is a state list of OBCs in which a lot of Muslim castes have been placed.
Well, all right, pertinent points raised there by Dr. Verma. On that note, you know what, Mr. Ajha, Dr. Verma and Mr. Abraham, my apologies to Mr. Abraham, wanted to take that question about West Bengal with you, but I'm at a short of time, at a real paucity of time. Many thanks to all you gentlemen for joining with us. But talk about this OBC quota. Jairam Ramesh, in that exclusive conversation with News9 Live's Karthikeya Sharma, goes on to say that we're not just going to review the 50% limitation. Social justice, you need reservation for that. And what is the basis of reservation? Well, it's a caste census. Listen in to this excerpt from that exclusive interview.
Reservations were introduced for Muslims, for Christians, for Buddhists, for Jains, for scheduled caste converts into Christianity on the grounds of economic and social backwardness. A survey was carried out, and based on that, a reservation of 4% was provided to Muslims, for example. Now, that's not giving reservations on the basis of religion. That's giving reservation on the basis of economic and social backwardness. Now, since 1994, there have been 4 BJP chief ministers in Karnataka. There have been 2 prime ministers for 16 years out of the last 30 years. 16 years BJP has ruled in the center. Now, suddenly the prime minister discovers this as an issue. The real issue is that the Supreme Court, while it upheld the reservations for OBCs, said that the reservations for scheduled castes, scheduled tribes and OBCs should not exceed 50%. They should 50% upper limit. Now, we have promised that we will review this limit and we will increase this limit, because Tamil Nadu is the only state of India where there is 69% reservation for scheduled castes, scheduled tribes and OBCs, and that is protected in the 9th schedule of the Constitution. No other state is the reservation protected in this manner by the Constitution. So we want to increase the 50% limit. I want to ask the Prime Minister, he keeps on talking about धर्म के आधार पर हम आरक्षण दे रहे हैं, जो बिल्कुल 100% गलत है, झूठ है. मैं प्रधानमंत्री जी से पूछना चाहता हूं, क्या ये आप 50% की सीमा हटाएंगे कि नहीं? Will you or will you not increase this limit? That's the issue.
Well, we're slipping into a quick commercial break here, ladies and gentlemen, but don't go anywhere. Some big breaking news that we're tracking out of Jammu and Kashmir on the other side.
Brought to you by We God, co-powered by Sensodyne, associate sponsor Ultratech Cement and Wimmel, Bolo Zuma Kesari.
Looks beats sensitivity fast. Sensodyne Rapid Relief.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी.
How do you fulfill that promise? Because ultimately expectations have to be met. If you look at the political landscape, is it really changing for women? And what is the inability of the forces that dead bodies surface but not the living people?
We are trying a lot of experiments, innovations and ideas.
We came out with a new format in audio, which is audio series.
Listening for content-oriented company in India, which is a very unique proposition.
When you look at audio in general, we had music, which is like extremely old format, and then we had podcasts.
A natural extension for Pocket FM is to move from Hindi to regional content. I think I'd love to see their FY24 numbers, which they claim will be close to 1,000 crores. I think there are talks of them to raise another $80 to $100 million of funding.
This and more. Streaming on News9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
India produces between 1,500 and 2,000 films every year, the highest for any country. But they get ignored at international awards.
The Oscars are basically American national awards for themselves.
You're not going to be able to make a better pizza than an Italian chef. You're not going to be able to make a better make better sushi than a Japanese chef. Will you make better khichdi than a Japanese chef? Right? So I want you to taste my food. We are making cinema that we are proud of.
In fact, it has been 2 decades since an Indian feature film featured in the Oscars International Film category.
All these years, for much of its history, they've been just awarding their own films, and this one tiny category, Best Foreign Language Film, had the entire world frothing at the mouth to get into the Oscars.
This and more. Streaming on News9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
Welcome back. You're watching News9 Live. Big story that we're tracking out of Kashmir. 3 terrorists, including commander of Lashkar-linked outfit, were killed during an encounter with security forces in Jammu and Kashmir's Kulgam on Tuesday. Now, Basit Dar, who was an active operative of the Resistance Front, the TRF, a Lashkar-backed terrorist organization, was also killed in the encounter. That's the big story that we're tracking for you. Now, Basit Dar was one of the most wanted militants. He was on the list of most wanted militants and had a ₹10 lakh reward on him by the National Investigation Agency. Talking a little bit more about Basit Dar, he was a resident of Redwani in Kulgam district of South Kashmir, who had been missing from his home since 2021 and had joined the Lashkar. According to the police, he was involved in several killings in Kashmir, including policemen and civilians. His involvement was in 18 cases registered across the valley. Security forces had launched a cordon and search operation in Kulgam's Redwani area late on Monday after they had received information about the presence of terrorists in the area. News agency PTI quoted officials as saying so as well. At this point in time, information that we're tracking, 3 terrorists, including commander of Lashkar-linked outfit, were killed during an encounter with security forces in Jammu and Kashmir's Kulgam on Tuesday. The latest top reaction that we have for you coming up on your television screens, VK Bird, who's the IGP Kashmir. Let's play that reaction out very quickly.
यानी रात को पुलिस और सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस को एक इत्तला मिली थी रिगार्डिंग द मूवमेंट ऑफ टेररिस्ट इन दिस एरिया. So after that, police forces and security forces, along with army and CRPF, have cordoned this area. And जब कॉर्डन चल ही रहा था तो उसमें से अंदर से फायर आया, उसके बाद एक ऑपरेशन स्टार्ट हुआ जो कि पूरी रात चला और आज दोपहर तक कंक्लूड हुआ. तो इस ऑपरेशन में 2 टेररिस्ट मारे गए हैं, तो उनकी बॉडीज रिट्रीव हो गई हैं. अभी सर्च ऑपरेशन थोड़ा सा और कंक्लूड है. कई बार जो डेबरीज या कोई एक्सप्लोजिव होते हैं तो उसके क्लियरेंस के लिए अभी ऑपरेशन चल रहा है. हमने पूरा ड्यू डिलिजेंस के साथ इनिशियल उसमें वी हैव गिवन देम opportunity as per law to come out and surrender, but however they have not heeded to the caution by police and security forces, and they again ensued that firing on security forces. So in this operation, 2 terrorists got neutralized. One is identified as Basit Dar. He belongs to TRF A category. And it is a significant achievement for us. The reason being that he was very much involved into almost more than 18 cases in Srinagar city also, killing of police personnel and innocent civilians also. And also he was involved in the planning and carrying out attacks and planning of conspiracy to attack upon minorities and police forces and civilians.
Details are a little bit tricky to ascertain at the moment. According to the Kashmir Zone Police and their social media handle, it is now being confirmed that bodies of 2 terrorists, mind you, 2 terrorists that have been killed in the anti-terrorist operations have been recovered so far. Identity and affiliation is being ascertained. The operation is still in progress. Further details are going to follow. This is coming from the Kashmir Zone Police. Meanwhile, my colleague Irfan Qureshi joins us from Srinagar with the latest details. इरफान, अगर आप हमें सुन सकते हैं इस समय जमीनी स्थिति के बारे में क्या बता सकते हैं? आतंकवादियों के कितने शव इस समय बरामद हुए हैं? टीआरएफ के बारे में जम्मू कश्मीर पुलिस के पास किस प्रकार की इंफॉर्मेशन है? व्हाट इज द कंप्लीट लो डाउन दैट यू कैन हेल्प द व्यूअर्स विद राइट नाउ? ओवर टू यू, इरफान.
All right, let me tell you, this anti-terror operation was launched last late evening after security forces and special operation group of Jammu and Kashmir police received specific inputs about the presence of Basir Dar, who is the commander of TRF in South Kashmir, and his one more associate Momin. However, the identity of Basit was confirmed by Jammu and Kashmir Police IGP VK Birdi, but the identity of another terrorist was not confirmed. But sources told TV9 that another terrorist killed in this operation is Momin. Let me tell you, the fact is that the Basit Dar was killed in his own native village. He was missing, like you said, since 2021, and then in 2022, national investigation agencies put a reward of around 10 lakh rupees on him, and there was a hunt launched against Basit Dar because he was involved in more than 80 cases of civilian killings, security forces attacks, and especially some of the attacks that were taken up by the TRF in Srinagar city. So this is the major breakthrough for security forces because right now the election campaigning for the Lok Sabha and the polls are going simultaneously in Jammu and Kashmir, and the terrorist outfit like Lashkar and its offshoot TRF is trying to disturb the law and order, and the security forces and the top officials of Jammu and Kashmir police have already made it clear that they will hunt down every active terrorist in the Kashmir Valley and try to make the elections peaceful in Kashmir. And this was the outbreak of that campaign launched against the terrorists in South Kashmir, that on the basis of a special and specific input in the Redvini area of this Kulgam, which is the part of South Kashmir, that anti-terror operation was started last late evening and which continued for more than 18 hours, and 2 terrorists were killed in this operation. Both the bodies have been retrieved. One has been identified by the J&K police as Basir Dar, the top commander of TRF. He was initially the commander of Lashkar, and TRF is the offshoot of Lashkar, active in Kashmir Valley, taking part in the terrorist activities. And
Irfan, if you can also throw some light on what the people on the ground are feeling at the moment, if you could also throw some light on that as well, Irfan. आसपास के लोग क्या कह रहे हैं? I mean, civilian killings, politicians come and say that it has gone down, but what is happening on the ground is that we see joint efforts every other day. In terms of the sentiment sentiment of the public? Already the elections today have been postponed. In terms of the sentiment of the public, the insecurity of the public, can you throw some light on that? How are they feeling?
Absolutely. Let me tell you, today I was in the South Kashmir area doing, campaign coverage, and I talked to many people who acknowledge that since 2019, there is huge decline in terror activities, in terror recruitments as well. There are less attacks on civilians and security forces. But Basit was involved in the target killings of Kashmiri Pandit and other minorities in Kashmir Valley. That is why he was wanted, and reward was announced against him. And that is why this is a big success for security forces. On the other hand, people definitely feel some kind of ease, especially in South Kashmir, since the anti-terror operations against the terrorists have been beefed up in Kashmir Valley. Since 2019, more than 600 terrorists, including top commanders of Lashkar, Hizb, TRF and other terrorist outfits have been killed. But among them, Basit was still escaping, and today he was caught and killed in this huge operation in Kulgam.
All right. Irfan Qureshi bringing us the latest details right from Srinagar, where we are picking up that right now, ladies and gentlemen, 2 terrorists, including top commander of a Lashkar-linked outfit, the TRF, were killed in an encounter with security forces in Jammu and Kashmir's Kulgam. Right here on Tuesday, Basit Dar, who was an active operative of the resistance front, the TRF. This is the Lashkar-backed terrorist organization in a big win for the local police in this joint operation that was carried out on the encounter. He was killed. He also was on the most wanted list of militants and terrorists and had a rupees 10 lakh reward on him by the National Investigation Agency. All right then, ladies and gentlemen, shifting our focus here to a very important story that we must talk about. 170 days of complete aridness and a drought-like scenario, to suddenly switching it up, and now it's swimming pool as far as the eyes can see. Heavy rains accompanied by thunderstorms and gusty winds have pounded several parts of Bengaluru. The Karnataka State Natural Disaster Centre has issued yellow alerts for thunderstorms for the districts of Bengaluru Rural and Bengaluru Urban. Rains caused heavy waterlogging, which accompanied by felling of trees resulted in traffic snarls in several places across the cities. Traffic jams, again, nothing new for Bengaluru. 7 flights were diverted from Bengaluru on Monday due to the adverse weather conditions. As per the weather department, the city is likely to witness light to moderate rain till the 10th of May. So several other days of rain as well. Now, it's important to understand and note here that all of this comes in complete contrast to what the situation has been in the city and was about just a month ago. Bengaluru witnessed a severe water shortage, with long queues at the water tankers becoming a common sight, ladies and gentlemen. Right now you're looking at these traffic snarls. This is what the situation in Bengaluru looked like just a couple of weeks back. The situation became so bad that even the Prime Minister had to say that the tech hub has now turned into a tanker hub. And this is a recurring story in Bengaluru about terrible waterlogging, pothole deaths and inundated homes, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone in Bengaluru, the IT hub, looks towards the Bruhad Bengaluru Mahanagar Palike, the BBMP, to find some solutions during the rains. And the BBMP has asked civic agencies to complete their work by May 20. But their past track record, well, not all deadlines are usually met with. My colleague Mohammad Wajiullah spoke to BBMP's Chief Commissioner Tushar Girinath about the city's preparedness for the upcoming monsoons. Listen in to what the BBMP chief had to say.
I'm joined in by BBMP Commissioner Tushar Girinath, sir. All this while it wasn't raining in Bengaluru, it was hot. Yesterday's rains after heavy showers at Bengaluru have changed the situation. Do you think we were prepared for this monsoon?
Yeah, we are very adequately prepared. We were prepared. We had taken up intensive drive in the month of April itself. So, and one round of rain. This is the second round of such showers, and it is very welcome thing because nature had been at least now kind, because it was very dry, hot weather which we had not seen. These are very welcome showers. They are pre-monsoon showers, and we are much more prepared. We are prepared for the whole monsoon high intensity rains. Yesterday were moderately to high intense rains in few and scattered places. Around 20 watts received rains from ranging from 40 to 1.5 mm. It was not complete, widespread, we can't say. But in the east, west and south, some wards, and in the northern part of the city, they've received good rain. Along with that, there had been a lot of tree and branches falling incidents. There are around 200 such incidents, 250 such incidents. We have cleared around 160 to 170 such spots. Still the work is going on. Today and tomorrow they will be cut and will be transported to the temporary timber depots which we have designated for this purpose, because we can't take them to very long distances to the landfill site. So we are very much prepared. We have our intensive cleaning of the stormwater drains, side drains, is leading to a lot of flow of water properly to the drains, and they are getting evacuated properly. Only problem is in certain local areas when the construction debris etc. is put on the side drains, then locally it immediately gets affected. If it is put on a tertiary and secondary drain, the effect will be slightly more. So we are also requesting all the citizens to see that when they are doing their construction, they should be more careful. We are also putting penalty and fines on them. But more than that, it should be more responsible citizenry. So the construction debris should not enter and find place in the stormwater drains.
Well, joining us on the broadcast is Dr. Rajagopal Kamath, researcher and science writer. Very warm welcome to you, sir. Also with us on the broadcast is my colleague Muhammad Wajiullah. Let's quickly cut across to Waji first. Waji, ever since you spoke to the BBMP, chief, what has transpired ever since? We're looking at the weather department telling us that more rain is coming towards Bengaluru till about 10th of May. Any other, untoward incident that has taken place? Anything that you'd like to share with the viewers at the moment?
Well, no untoward incident happened yesterday because of the rain. We had a lot of tree felling, close to 200, 250 tree fellings that happened yesterday because the rains that came yesterday, which went on for close to 4 to 5 hours, also were accompanied by strong winds, and these winds were there because of the cyclonic circulation that is taking place in the Bay of Bengal as we speak, and that is the reason why the IMD has also predicted that the coming few days are going to be wet for Bangalore. And that is a welcome news for Bangalorean, because as you said in your intro, we were having one of the worst days, dry days, a lot of heat wave, and a situation that Bangalore had not faced in the past. We have had water shortage in Bengaluru, but we've not had heavy heat presence or a heavy heat wave that we're seeing in the last 5-6 years. So with the water shortage, that was also accompanied. Now these rains, though usually in Bengaluru we've seen in the past that if the weather would have touched 28, 29, there would be rains and the next 2-3 days would become cooler. That is something that we are still not seeing in Bengaluru. But these rains, the pre-monsoon rains that we've seen yesterday because of the cyclonic circulations in Bay of Bengal, is a welcome relief for Bangaloreans. But as of now, no such untoward incident. There have been certain places where there were water clogging, but most of the places it was the situation was far better. It seems that the BBMP was much prepared this time than it was the last time when we saw heavy rains hitting the city, Kabir.
That is some positive news. If the BBMP is better prepared, like Waji is saying, that is certainly good news for all Bengalurians. Muhammad Wajiullah, many thanks for bringing us that exclusive conversation and your insightful inputs on this broadcast. Let's talk about the scientific angle at play over here. We've got Dr. Rajagopal Kamath, research and science writer, with us. Now, sir, we've looked at this IT hub from various other angles. 170 days of complete arid sort of a situation. There's absolutely no water. It's a, tanker mafias are now doing the headlines on various news portals. Amid that, electoral parties are trying to, extract all sorts of political mileage. But it's the people that actually end up suffering. It becomes a swimming pool if it rains. And if it doesn't rain in that arid situation, it's a tanker city. I mean, this was the smart city. This was supposed to be the hub. This was supposed to be the example to show the world what is really happening, what has gone down. And I'm not going to ask you the same question that people ask scientists every monsoon. How about you tell us 5 top tips that people should start doing today? Isn't this civic duty apathy more than nature's play?
We give smart technology solutions to all over the world. But in our house in our same town or city, it's not we are not implementing anything. We have lost the summer rains. Summer rains largely deficient in Bengaluru. That's because of the external reasons, but we are not able to contain that. That's a problem because old Bengaluru, that means the real city has not suffered much, I think, and the newly developed areas were short of day-to-day water and all. So that's actually there is a days of relief for Bengaluru because next 2-3 days there will be intermittent rains here and there. And also the heat is going to get reduced. For 2 days it will be around 36, then it will come to 34. And by the weekend it will be around 30-31 degrees. Actually that's a good relief for Bengaluru. Earlier the rains were not there just because of the changes in the Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal. I would like to inform the viewers that Arabian Sea is showing a considerable increase in temperature. Yesterday and day before yesterday, the temperature was 33 degrees Celsius in the coastal areas. And in Bay of Bengal, it was 32 degrees. Coastal area temperature was 32 degrees in the sea surface temperature. Luckily, we got a change in the Pacific region near Indonesia and in the South China Sea. So that has helped us. That has changed the weather pattern in the Bay of Bengal, and that has resulted in Bengaluru rains. But other parts of Karnataka, the interior Karnataka, heat wave conditions will prevail for some more time. But Bengaluru, where the winds from the Arabian Sea part and the Bay of Bengal converge, it's lucky. Actually, it's going to be cooler than before. The drought conditions are going to be lesser now because intermittent rains will be coming, and even though monsoon may be slightly delayed also, there may not be much rise in heat for the coming days. This is what we expect now. But the other parts of Karnataka, that's a matter of concern. Mysore also will be less hotter than the previous weeks.
Well, all right. It seems like it's all over good news. Certainly, the pictures do tell a little bit of a contrasting situation, but it seems like at this point in time, because traffic snarls is nothing new for the Bengalurians, a little bit of a rain is much respite from the arid drought-like situation. All right, ladies and gentlemen, many thanks, Dr. Rajagopal Kamath, for helping us with your insightful inputs. A big political story that we are tracking for you, and do pay attention. All of this happening right in the middle of the Lok Sabha elections 2024. A big political upheaval has come to light from the state of Haryana. Take a look at this. 3 independent MLAs have withdrawn support to the BJP and come out in support of the Congress party in the state of Haryana. Now, the MLAs switched sides in the presence of the leader of opposition, that is Bhupendra Hooda, in Rohtak. Independents Randhir Golan, Dharampal Gondar and Somveer Sangwan have withdrawn their support from the Bharatiya Janata Party. The BJP is now left with 43 MLAs in the 88-member state assembly, ladies and gentlemen. That's the issue at play. It seems like it looks like in the minority position in the state of Haryana. Mathematics of the Haryana Assembly, let's break that down for you. Currently, total MLAs in the House with about 99 MLAs. That number is standing at 88. 2 MLA posts became vacant due to the resignations of Manohar Lal Khattar and Ranjit Chautala, who were contesting the Lok Sabha elections and had resigned from the post of MLA. Now, BJP has 40 with the support of 2 independents. Now, the 3 independents have withdrawn their support to the Nayab Saini government. 1 has the support of Haryana Lok Hit Party MLA Gopal Kanda. Government needs the support of 45 MLAs to stake claim in terms of that majority. At present, BJP government has support of 43 MLAs, ladies and gentlemen. 30 of the Congress party plus 3 independents, 33. This is neutral. This is the opposition. And take a look at the neutral. The JJP has 10. The JJP has 10 seats. So 30 for the Congress, 3 independents, 10 seats of the JJP. Almost looking like a 43 on the opposition side and 43 with the BJP. Now the 3 people have withdrawn their support. Well, certainly interesting developments in the state of Haryana. All of this amid the Lok Sabha Polls 2024. Watch on News9 to bring you all the latest developments and details vis-a-vis this political upheaval from the state of Haryana. We're slipping into a quick break here. Lots more right on the other side. Keep watching News9 Live.
I try and convert almost everything in a kind of a mathematical formula.
You should always stretch more than you can reach.
Listening is very important.
But if you don't listen, how would you know what the problem is?
Everybody who's working in and around me, their personal well-being is also a responsibility that I carry.
Great leaders have shared vision.
This and more. Streaming on News9 Plus. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
Why is the state not looking at putting an embargo on that?
As a Telangana person, I will not accept.
How do ordinary folks deal with this?
Start with the end in mind. You need to know where you want to reach. Every morning that we wake up, we are exercising our choice. The destiny is decided. The results are known that I'm going to win. Life of a goalkeeper is something which has always intrigued me.
When you come into a stadium, this is the highest level of pressure.
When I set out to do something, I decide in my mind that failure is not an option.
What you feel very strongly about, those are the stories to tell.
I have a mind which is absolutely restless.
Mind and body are entangled sensations.
That brings me back to golf. It's an amazing game.
This is not a perfect game. You only learn from them.
If you have a formula to a success, then you can replicate it.
I feel this is my first step. I'm starting now.
Winner is first born in the mind. I think, therefore I am. We are all about our mind.
This and more. Streaming on News9 Plus. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
20,000 people dead and counting. What's happening in the United States of America is unprecedented. You will have to pay for this.
Film and entertainment is definitely one of the levers for any country to build its brand.
We are getting global. I feel that we're just on the takeoff.
More and more films are becoming language agnostic.
Content is a universal language.
There's one audience in the world.
Absolutely. End of the day, we all are like brothers who have mutual respect for each other from a different land.
This and more. Streaming on News9 Plus. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
Currently, the industry is facing a lot of challenges as far as demand is concerned. Basically, that US markets has slowed down because of high inflation.
So obviously, diamonds being a dream product, something which doesn't have a utility value or is seen as a luxury. So that obviously goes off your shopping list. That's the first item that will go off your shopping list, especially in recessionary trends.
That lab-grown diamonds are not mined, and they do away with the entire mining. So they save up on all the environmental damage that is associated with mining, and of course, the mining cost, which is why they're even more affordable.
People that is impacted by all these recessions are the artisans, are the people who work in this industry, right? But I think lab-grown diamond has allowed them to actually use their skills in the same product.
This and more, streaming on world's first news OTT, News9 Plus. Download now.
The football is mother of all games.
It is a team sport.
The leadership attitude is taking the ownership.
It's always a big responsibility to take decisions and the right decisions.
I always question the stereotypical.
And that's why you are in that position.
This and more. Streaming on News9 Plus. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
Hello and a very warm welcome to Game On. It's a sports feast that's coming your way over the next half an hour. There's a lot on the menu, from a Surya special last night to a royal dinner tonight at the Delhi Darbar. I'm your host, Neha Bhardwaj-Alter. Will there be another run fest at the Kotla? The average first innings score at this ground is 249 this season. And with big hitters in both Delhi Capitals and Rajasthan Royals, expect tonight's game to be a game where the ball is flying all over the park. Delhi's Jake Fraser-McGurk has impressed fans and critics alike with his incredible hitting prowess, but Rajasthan Royals have a bunch of big hitters in their ranks too, from Jaiswal to Butler to Shimron Hetmeyer to Rovman Powell to Dhruv Jurel. On paper, RR's bowling looks much better, but Delhi bowlers will have the home advantage of knowing the conditions well.
Delhi Capitals cannot afford a defeat as they host a rampaging Rajasthan Royals at the Firozshah Kotla Stadium in the national capital later today. All eyes will be on skipper Rishabh Pant for his killer instinct and Jake Fraser-McGurk for the unbelievable flair the young Aussie batter has displayed in his Indian Premier League debut season. The inconsistent Capitals have been languishing in the lower half of the table, with 5 wins and 6 defeats in their 11 games. Winning the remaining 3 games is a must